Hi. I have not been here for a while. I've pretty much just been doing my Document Your Life videos. I also have not read a lot in the past while, like a lot of real books. I have been doing some cheating on Goodreads. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I do have some books to talk about, so if you want to hear about them, then I'll tell you about them. So the first book is the last book that I read before I started having trouble reading, really. And that's House of Holo by Crystal Sutherland. And this book was an interesting one. It's supposed to be horror, which, I get that. I get it. To me, it wasn't scary. It was gross. It was disgusting. But it was an interesting concept. I did like the concept. Anyway, it's about these three sisters who went missing one night when they were younger, and when they were found, they were naked, and it was a week later or something like that, and none of them have any memory of their lives before they went missing. But they have this very strong connection with each other, and they can tell when one of them is in trouble or if they're close, and they all seem to have these weird, dark magical powers. And their older sister has basically run away, kind of. And the two younger sisters are trying to find her, as well as try to find out what happened to them when they went missing when they were younger. It did have a little bit of Wayward Children vibes, like Every Heart a Doorway, except darker. There was lots of talk about going into other worlds through magical doors and stuff like that, but it's really gross. There were a few parts that were unsettling in a creepy way, but then there were other ones that were just unsettling just because they were disgusting. So to me, I don't know if this gives anything away. I feel like it doesn't give anything away, but I would say this is a cross between the Wayward Children series books and the movie Midsummer. Anyway, I gave this 3 stars? 3.5 stars? It was not the kind of horror that I enjoy, because it was just very gross, and I couldn't get the images out of my head. It was very unsettling. It was well written, though. The character, I think his name was Tyler, was my favorite. Loved him so very much. And there is an epilogue, which leads me to believe there's going to be a sequel. It might not. It might just, kind of give the readers hope for something. Just to be oh, this might be a thing that happens in the future. But there isn't necessarily going to be a book about it. But if there was a book about it, I would read the shit out of it. I feel like even if there's gross stuff, because of what it would be about, it sounds good to me. So, so obviously it wasn't so gross that it completely put me off. But it wasn't what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting it to be gross the way that it was, and it's not the kind of gross that I like. Anyway, I said gross a million times. I had a lot of trouble picking up pretty much any book and being able to focus on it. Pretty much every single book that I picked up, it was too wordy. I didn't like the writing. I wasn't interested in the story, and I would read a little bit and put it down and not be able to read again. I feel like there's a few videos that I could do based on my situations, because I have currently 5 books that I'm literally in the middle of for different reasons, and I don't know if people are interested in a video about that, about why I'm having trouble getting through these certain books. I don't really like making negative videos, but if it's something people think is interesting, I could. And now the other thing is, I have been cheating on my Goodreads, which isn't I did call it cheating at first, and I still kind of think it's cheating, but it's not really, is I've been reading children's picture books to catch up on my Goodreads goal. And they're all picture books that I have previously read, but I read them when I was a kid. And the reason that I don't really think it's cheating after doing it is these books were wonderful. They were so wonderful. All but one so far that we're gonna not talk about. But they're so wonderful. And I can do a video about those books if you guys want. So guys, let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video on the children's picture books that I have read, that I loved growing up. and still thought held up today as an adult, still held all the magic that I thought was there when I read them as a kid, and have like a new kind of magic reading them as an adult. I'm not going to talk about them today, but if you guys want me to do a video on them, I can. I did end up being able to read some manga. So I read The Witch Hat Atelier, volumes 1 and 2. I took a chance and bought both volumes together at the bookstore because I thought the artwork was very calming. And I was like, I'll probably like enough to read the second one, so I'll get them both. And I loved the first one. I loved it so much, so I was glad that I got the second one at the same time. I didn't love the second one, but I still really enjoyed it, and I would like to continue the series. But this is about a girl who has always wanted to be a witch, and then she finds out that you can basically learn to be a witch. It's not something that you're necessarily born with. And it's actually has to do with drawing, like you draw your spells. So when she learns that that's how you do it, she ends up making all of these bad spells by accident, and she turns her parents to stone. And so this like witch teacher guy takes her away to his school, and she has to go through all of these tests, and all the other girls who are there don't like her, and there's this evil witch guy that's after her. So it was really good. It was very exciting and calming at the same time. These were lovely, and I'm really glad that I did pick these up because I was able to read each of these. Took me about an hour, and they kept my attention the whole way, so that was good. Now, the next book that I was actually able to get through, like an actual novel, ever since reading House of Holo at the beginning of October, was the Anthropocene. I always say it wrong. Anthropocene. Anthropocene. Oh my god. The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. I read this at the end of November, and so almost 2 months later. And it was wonderful. I did a lot of tabbing, so there was a lot of stuff that I thought was particularly wonderful within it. It's just a bunch of reviews on things throughout John Green's life, and it's absolutely delightful. I actually did a full video review on this. It's a very different style. I tried to write it in the style of the reviews in the book, so I will leave that at the end if you want to see it. I like it. I think it's pretty good. So if you want to check it out, then I'll have it linked at the end. And then I read The Final Six by Alexandra Manier, which I really enjoyed. I gave this 4 stars, I think. So this is about basically the world slowly coming to an end, and they want to try and colonize one of Jupiter's moons, and they want to send 6 special people out there first to get everything started before the rest of the people start being able to be chosen to go over to this moon. And it's, they pick 24 teenagers. It's not really a lottery. It's like there's reasons that they're picking these people because they think that they're good at certain aspects that they'll need to be good at in order to do what they need to do when they get to one of Jupiter's moons. And then there's like all of this training that these 24 people have to go through, and at the end 6 of them are chosen to go, and it follows 2 of these people. So it's like back-to-back chapters from 2 different perspectives of 2 of the people who are in this group of 24. And it was really good. I enjoyed it. It was really exciting, and it was interesting, and it was also just like a very easy read. Like it was just really easy to just plow through it. Like it was nice and simple and breezy and fun. So I would like to read the second one. So those are the books that I have read recently. Let me know if you want to see any other videos from me, like the picture books that I've read, or the books that I have tried reading this year and am just halfway through so many of them. And if there's any other videos that you, I don't know, would like to see from me, you can also let me know about that in the comments, and we'll see you later. Bye. Have a good day.